Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Redneck DIY with Downriver Fishing, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in, and today I've got some really cool stuff for you. So, we are going to be talking about dragging weights. I'm sure you guys have seen the drift sticks. You've probably even seen some other DIY videos, something like this. Those are all great options, guys. Those all work really well. For me, I wanted to make my own because, for one, I really just kind of like tinkering around with stuff, and especially if it has to do with fishing. And for two, I wanted to make mine just a little bit different. And guys, I really think that this is just a really awesome option. It's easy to make. It was cheap, and we put these to the test just yesterday for the first time, and they performed flawlessly, not one single snap. What I wanted in my dragging weights was I wanted something that was a little bit longer than, you know, some of the other options out there, the slinky weights and things like that. And I also wanted something that was going to stay like this in the water, because whenever this is going over brush, things like that, it can kind of just ramp right over, and I really like that. You know, the ones that just kind of drag straight across the bottom, I feel like those get snagged a little bit more. So I wanted something that was going to stay like this. So I'm going to show you what I've done to make this sit in the water just absolutely perfectly. I mean, I really think that this is, you know, this is one of the best options available. So stay tuned, and let's get into showing you guys how to make these things. Alright guys, so real quick, this is all you're going to need. Okay, I'm making the weights out of 3/8 inch heat shrink tubing. This stuff is fantastic to work with, really easy, really cheap, and it's waterproof. Then I'm using, this is just 1/4 inch diameter lead. I found this on Amazon, and this stuff is great. It's really easy to work with. It's super easy to bend, to cut. I love this stuff. I found that about 6 inches of this is 2 ounces of weight. That's what we're going to be using, about 2 ounces of weight. Overall, it's going to be about 3 ounces or so. We got a snap swivel here. This is what we're going to use to clip it on and off your line with. Just got a little bullet weight here. This is what I'm using to cap the end off of. I'm just kind of going to smash the front of it with some pliers just so no water can get through that tiny little hole. And then this stuff is fantastic. This is just backer rod. It's 3/8 inch tubing. It's foam, so it floats. And this is what we're putting at the top of our weights, so that it kind of holds it up like that. So when it's going through the water, like I said, it's going to go over things much easier. But that's all the material you need. Not a lot, very inexpensive. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is just get all your materials ready. This heat shrink tubing came in a huge coil, so I took it out and I cut these down to about 16 inches a piece. That's just kind of the size that I decided to go with. There's no rhyme or reason. And then you are going to want to get your lead out. Like I said earlier, about 6 inches is 2 ounces of weight. You can adjust that accordingly to how heavy you want yours. Like I said, overall it's going to be about 3 ounces when it's all said and done, and that's about perfect for how much I want mine to weigh. So I went ahead, uncoiled all mine like you just saw me do there, and I cut these into 6 inch pieces. Next, you're going to want to cut your backer foam. I'm just cutting this into 6 or 7 inch pieces. And so when you're done cutting, you're going to have your heat shrink tube, you're going to have your foam, and then you're going to have your weight. And it's going to go, everything is going to go inside here just like that. Okay, your weight's going to be at the bottom so it holds it down. Foam's going to be at the top so it floats it up and just drags it. Okay, and now where the foam is 3/8 inch and the heat shrink is 3/8 inch as well, it's pretty tight. So if you grab a little olive oil or just some kind of lube, and I'm just kind of lubing this up here just so that foam will slide in there easier. So we're going to put it in there See, that actually slid in there real nice. And then I've got just a little nail that I'm using just to, if it starts to get stuck on you, you can use this to kind of cram it in there. So there we go. We got our foam in there. So that is super easy. And then this part is even easier. So what you want to do is straighten this out. And now I found a pretty cool trick for straightening this out. Actually, just if you take something flat, and I'm just going to use this old license plate. Just kind of roll it like this. See, that stuff is so easy to work with. Perfectly straight. Okay? So then we've got our tubing. Just going to shove this in the back of it there. And we'll grab our nail just to push it down. Okay? So there's that for now. Now we're going to grab our little bullet weight, and I am going to just crush the top of this with some pliers. Just going to crush the top of that with some pliers just so that hole's not there anymore. I really want this to be as waterproof as possible. Alright, and that'll do. It looks kind of goofy, but that'll work just fine. So then we're just going to put this in the back here and kind of try to keep it, towards the back there. So I'll kind of hold it like that, and I'll just grab my lighter here and we'll just shrink up the bottom, turn it real slow. Once this cools off, it's gonna hold that pretty well. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna put our snap swivel in there. So I'm just gonna put this all the way down as far in there as you can. Ideally, you'll just have your snap hanging out. And I'm going to do the same thing. You can kind of see the shape of it where that swivel is, that it's going all around it, and that's going to hold it nice and tight. So this ain't coming out. See, our bottom's cool now, and that's stuck in there good. That's not going anywhere. So there it is, folks. Now you have it. Snap swivel, foam, keep it upright. Weight to keep the back down. Let's go throw this thing in some water and see how it looks. Alright guys, so I've got this tote here filled up with water. I believe that it's going to be good enough to put this thing to the test, so let's get it wet and see what happens. Alright, let's give it a go. Freaking perfect. That is sitting exactly how I want it to. Look at this. The front's just barely floating. That's gonna make it cut through brush so good. And like I said, guys, I used this technique yesterday, all day fishing. No snags. And I think it's because of these weights. I think these weights do a really good job of cutting through brush, and I think this is an excellent way to do it. Very easy, very simple, and very cheap. Thank you guys for watching. If y'all have any questions about this, if you guys have any suggestions, drop in the comments below. And as always, I will catch you guys very, very soon.